I filled out victim impact statement after victim impact statement, you guys, and nobody's doing anything for me. Now, I understand we're between a rock and a hard place. I've even contacted the Attorney General about this.
What we
All right?
do as far as
we need medical attention.
What we can do as far as the paperwork, we're going to check into the.
Well, see, here's the problem. I have a guardian, and my guardian is supposed to be responsible for that. Isn't that how that goes?
For your medicating?
For everything. Well, see, here's the thing. I've also got military benefits. I am listed in the computer as totally permanently incapacitated, military dependent. So where that would make things kind of sticky with this whole situation, especially when they re-injured me at the hospital. And that could have killed me because we're talking about brain stuff here. I've got my son will verify that they found pieces of my skull missing from the outside, ma'am, and pieces of my skull moving around. Wouldn't you think that's kind of serious?
Yeah, it sounds serious.
Don't you think that's a little life-threatening?
Yeah, that's why we need to figure out why the paperwork, like you said, what needs to be filled out, what needs to be done so that.
Well, when you contact my guardian for that, he lives in Galeen. His name is
his number and everything?
Alvin, you want to get your military ID card thing so that we can show it to these people? I assume you guys would want to take a picture of that.
Is that why? So you say you filled out the paperwork for?
Well, see, we've been to court already. We went to court 15 years ago behind this stuff, so that should be on record.
See, we're a different department.
Yeah, but could you please talk to Dobrich, because that's the judge who handled my case. Yep. And Lynn Harrison was the DHS caseworker. Just so that you're aware. We also had a dude named Fandango come out here when we were next door when I had my temporary custody of my godkids. Okay, which kind of perplexes me with the situation how I'm getting custody of kids. I can get custody of any kid but mine. Right. Isn't that kind of concerning to you? Doesn't it kind of not make sense?
How, other than...
And then there was another caseworker involved. Her name was Gwendolyn. Okay, look, I'm going to show you this. We have to have this back because it's evidence. Okay, you see that? That's got his social security number. That's all, and actually, he's also his dependent, as you can see from that. Okay.
What is the guy's? You say
his name is Richard Carl Erickson. His date of birth is June 26, 1950. Okay, and I believe if I'm correct,
his phone number?
No, I don't. Because see, he wrote me a letter telling me don't ever contact him again when he's got my assets, my property and everything. All that stuff was willed to me. And the military, his name's Kevin Kimes. He's located at Great Lakes, up here, Great Lakes Naval Air Station at the JAG office. His name is Kevin Kimes. He has the will.
Phone number.
I don't have his phone number, ma'am.
So you're saying
Contact your
I don't. He abandoned us. See, this is the guardian. He abandoned us. We have no. He wrote me a letter, and I sent that to the Congressman Upton, showing Congressman Upton that he told me never contact him again, and that my kids were not my kids, which dumbfounds me because friend of the court has documentation showing that there was an agreement between him and my mother regarding my son. Now that's not legal, is it? You work for Department of Human Services. That's just not legal. You can't adopt somebody and there's a previous agreement with them, right?
Did he just say that he was? So this is.
He filed. That's my biological son. He filed a birth certificate in the state of California. That's fraud, sir. Now you see why we're having a problem here? I kind of have reason to believe that some of this is political because there's some other stuff going on that happened to me in Washington State. No, I don't want you to get concerned with that.
Did you live there?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and do you have a warrant out of it?
I have a warrant for absconding according to them. Now here's the situation with that. A girl she drugged me and tried to sexually assault me. In the process of that, she stole some of my property, some of which belonged to my son.
Do you know her name?
No, I don't remember it. Okay, because I have amnesia, All right, if that's understandable to you guys. This happened with her, it was over 20 years ago. And my son will verify this, okay? This happened over 20 years ago. This was when Bill Clinton was president. At the time when they had the Kennistar and Ollie North thing going on with him. Okay, well, there were 4 of us. This woman.
I do have the number.
You do? Oh, beautiful. Here's your ID card, son. We don't want you to lose that. Well, anyway, the whole thing went like this. She attempted to rape the 4 of us. Not separately now, mind you. There were kids present at each incident. Minors, which we have reason to believe she touched them too. The only one she didn't touch was me. She did touch me, but not the way she touched the other girls. Okay, well, the thing about it was this, sir. She had, how do I say this? She stole some of our stuff, like trophies. Okay? And we got upset, you know, we reported everything, we did the right thing, we followed policy and procedure. Well, in the process of that, the local authorities covered it up. Okay? And, you know, that's not, it has anything to do with you guys, but it's still a political thing, all right? Well, I fought it. I went to court and I told them at court, hey, we were abused. We broke into her house and we went and got our stuff. The only stuff we took was her stuff. And I took a DVD player, but I did that for the purpose of evidence. Okay, so that I could verify, hey, we did this for this reason. Well, another friend of mine, her husband went to beating on her. Okay, and I helped her. And her husband, you know, things happen between people, just like it did with me. And, you know, that's a part of this too I need to bring up. You know, I'm married. I didn't know that. I have a common law marriage. And see, that's a concern to me too. Because I have amnesia.
Common law marriage?
Yes, and it's legal in the state of Michigan. Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, I want to finish this with Bremerton. I don't want to get sidetracked. Okay. Well, I went to court and I told them at court this girl touched all 4 of us. Okay. And then they wouldn't leave. This was in Washington State, okay? I told the military people, NCIS knew about it. And they said, we can't help you right now. But trust and believe me, not if, but when. When, not if, when, we will get back to this matter. Okay? They told me they were going to come back and they were going to deal with me with this situation. Because I expressed to them that my rights were violated. And I knew that, because, you know, I'm a Navy brat. I was raised on bases. So I know policy and procedure, code of ethics. I know chain of command, all of that. So I told them I knew what was really going down here, right? With the Kennestar thing and Ollie North and all that. Well, anyhow, as it plays out, they still proceeded with the conviction. Threw me in jail. After that, I said, no, you know what? I got to take responsibility for my actions. So I went to jail and did the right thing, right? However, for the sake of blind justice, Alvin, will you grab your sister, please? Tiara, go, honey. You don't need to hear all this. But for the sake of blind justice, I said, I'm going to continue to fight this. So I filed a civil suit in the 9th District Court in Seattle, with which the people who represented me confessed there was conflict of interest in my case. Rather than do the right thing and throw my conviction out, because, you know, that's what the Constitution says. That a person who's had conflict of interest involved in their representation is entitled to immediate relief. Okay, I know this for a fact because I studied the Constitution. Okay, well, anyhow, nobody did anything. You know what they did? They charged me with probation violation and threw me back in jail. And then they took me to court and said, well, rather than honor your rights, we're going to charge you with 6 months. And they gave me, since I was out on bond, because, you know, my parents were really concerned, you know, so they did pay my bond. They told me when they told me we're giving you 6 months, they told me we're going to go ahead and we know you got a kid and family, so we're going to go let you make preparations. I feared for my life because, you know.
Oh, so that's why they say that you.
Yes, I fled. I fled for my life. Okay, when I left that court date, they had sentenced me to 6 months. That lawyer told me, if you leave and you don't come back, we're getting you for absconding. Now, that's kind of a violation after I showed him these papers, right? Showing that I filed a lawsuit and it was, the lawyer had agreed that they violated my rights, right? Isn't that kind of violation of constitutional rights?
I don't know the law that well.
I do, because, you know, I went.
That's not our.
Well, here's my thing. You guys know what the code of, don't you swear in for a code of ethics on the Bible when you guys take your jobs?
You swear in as far as protecting the child.
Okay, well, don't you have a code of ethics that you have to honor?
Yes.
Okay, well, see, all of this stuff right here violates the code of ethics. The code of ethics that you guys swear to, it's standard. It's through all the country, and it's also federal.
Yeah.
Okay, you know that, right? So this is a true violation of code of ethics. You guys haven't done anything. I'm not accusing you guys.
No, I believe what you're saying. I believe.
Okay.
The federal, so we're not really familiar with federal things.
Okay, well, here's my
the respect.
concern, dude. We're sitting here. You agree we need medical attention. We need help, right?
Yeah, and that's what
Okay.
I'm here, 'cause we can,
Okay, because my thing about it is we need something to get started with this because this is
Yeah.
really big. And you know, I'm really kind of upset that you came today because today's the anniversary of my mother's death. And I really honestly believe that my mother was murdered in the course of all of this. Just so that you guys know. And also, I told you I'd get back on with James O'Keefe. See, when I was in California, I was 17 years old. I swore on the Bible with him over the phone, and he came and visited me, so I know it's James O'Keefe, okay? It wasn't just like some hoaxy thing. I swore on the Bible, and he agreed. He persuaded me to, because, you know, we were in love and all of that, to marry him on the Bible. So, you know, here's another big concern of mine with the code of ethics. You know, I had a baby in the course of all of this. I understand, I committed adultery for my first 2 kids. Okay, I get that. I take responsibility for that, sir. However, I had amnesia when I laid down and conceived my last child. So don't you think really that would be a problem? Because I wasn't knowing that I was actually committing adultery.
well,
Isn't that a religious problem?
yeah, and adultery isn't a,
It's a sin, dude.
sin, but not a-
And I can go to hell for it. And granted, I've repented. You know, I prayed to God. I have to do that.
Yeah,
Okay, but
so you're fine.
no, I'm not. Because I don't know the condition my husband is in. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
I don't know what this has done to him because he's a journalist. Okay, and I have reason to believe that there's people high up, considering the circumstance that happened in Bremerton, that knew about this. I also want to point out who my grandparents are. My grandfather, I'm just going to talk about my grandfather. My grandfather's Bud Greist. He's from Gunsmoke. He acted with Ronald Reagan. Okay, and my other uncle is Kenneth Ting. He's from China. See, he's a commissioner with the Board of Against Corruption in China. So this kind of causes us to be a little bit of an international deal here. You know, when my uncle finds out about this, he's going to be really pissed. So I'd really like to do something about it and do it peaceably. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
And that is why we are here, because we want to help you. And I gave you that brochure with the number
This
on it.
brochure doesn't help me, ma'am.
Well, we need you to call that because yeah.
It's,
See, I don't want to call the crime victims unit. You know why?
why not?
Because they helped Victor Fitz hide this. I went to them and I tried to go. I attempted to talk to them about this at the courthouse. I left several messages with the lady at the courthouse from the crime victims people. This is when I filed a restraining order against the person who was responsible for hitting me in the head.
How long
And
ago? How long
that
ago?
was the papers are online if you want to look at them. It was within the last 2 years. See, I have a head injury and they re-injured me, so my time frame, I believe it was in 2016. Okay, it was in the course of the election, I remember that. Because a couple days after that happened, a lady came through here, and we had just been to the rally in South Bend. I'm not trying to be funny, but that's how I associate it, okay?
No, it was like
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was a while ago, okay? But, you know, I contacted them.
At the most recent rally?
No. I wanted to go to that so bad, don't you know? Because, you know, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, yeah. Well, anyway, no, right after the last, hi there, God bless you. Right after the very last, now I lost my train of thought. Yes, the last election, or no, it was before, when the election was starting up. I decided I was going to vote for Trump right when he announced.
Oh, when he first came out?
Yeah, because, you know, I was like, you know, he's different. He's not like these other politicians.
Yeah, he is different.
So anyway, we decided to go to the rally.
Okay.
And, well, after we come back a couple weeks, what was it, within a couple of weeks or so? It was within a month or two. Anyway, here comes the stalker that got this happen, the one that I had filed the PPO orders against, his wife. She blocked us in, and I got a video online if you want to look at it. She blocked us in.
Did they grant you the PPO?
No, they did not. No, they told me, you know what they told me? They would never give me a PPO order. Judge Dodge did that. And you know, it's funny because he's the same one that sentenced the man for child abuse.
Wait, where was it? Judge Dodge, where was it?
That's right here in Cass, sir. Judge Dodge.
Oh, Dobrich?
Dobrich is the family court lady. She's the one who handled all the taking my kids. See, Dodge was the one who handled the case where they took my house wrongfully.
Yeah.
The house that's protected by the guardianship. Okay? Dodge did that. He's also the same one who sentenced Mr. Carpenter, a.k.a. Anderson, the one with the child abuse. My middle child's father, okay? The one who stalked me, the one who caused my head injury, and I became homeless. He sold drugs and did a whole, we reported all of this stuff to the DHS. And this department,
You reported it to us?
to y'all guys, yes, Lynn Harrison, as a matter of fact. And you know what they did? Absolutely nothing. They threw me in jail. They hunted me down. I'm not talking about you, okay? Don't.
DHS doesn't throw people, we don't throw people in jail.
Okay, well they helped together unitedly to take me to. I feel that they united with the prosecutor's office, Judge Dobrich. Personally, the way it looks to me is that they together colluded in this. Can you understand why I would feel that way, sir?
Well,
Especially when this man who was a convicted child abuser had a court order to never, ever, ever go where kids are dwelling again. And there was a caseworker who knew that. They never bothered to tell me until after I'd had my daughter and he had burnt her with a space heater because he neglected her. He left her by herself while I was at work, mind you. Imagine that. And then he tried to hide it from me until the caseworker found it. This was a whole different caseworker, mind you. So could you understand what the dilemma here?
Well, honestly, I know all the stuff that you're talking about in the past has affected you now, but now we need to figure out what we can do from here on out.
Okay, I agree with you. So could we figure something
Yes,
out?
I
Yeah, I
do
want-
want you to call that, okay?
I cannot
besides-
do that because,
besides-
there's an investigation. I'm sure you guys know that there is an investigation. If there's not, there's going to be, because I blasted so much stuff online. I'm going to put this on there too. Okay? Just so you guys know, I'm going to send it to every news media cast and there is in the country. Okay? Just so that you guys are aware. I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but I have to protect my rights. Do you understand that? Because I'm an American. I was born and bred in this country. My family actually has a history that goes back to the Mayflower. Okay, so could you understand why I'm a little upset? I'm a taxpayer, I vote. My family has served a lot with the country. In fact, my uncle was retired sheriff for Cass County, Dick Clark. And you know his son? Rex Tiller's son. Yeah, you know his uncle?
I don't know him.
You don't know Rex Tillerson's uncle? Not personally. See, I don't really, I was taken from my family when I was young, so I really didn't know about all of this, until recently. But you know who Rex Tillerson's uncle is? Mad Dog Mattis. Did you know that? Do you know what that makes him to me, since Rex Tillerson is my cousin? That makes Mad Dog Mattis my uncle too, wouldn't it? And see, that in there is also that's Rex Tillerson's uncle, Richard Northrup. Okay, that is Rex Tillerson's